The View Monday through Friday, and then I watch Baddies on Sunday. And do not judge me, okay? Because if balance was a person, that is balance. That is enough balance because I get all of my like political convo from the ladies on The View. I can stay up to date and I know what's going on in the world. And then I just get my little guilty pleasure fulfillment from Baddies. I mean, do not judge me. My daddy's always judging me for watching Baddies, and I'm like, Daddy, you watch Tubi, so if you watch Tubi, why can't I watch Baddies? Anyways, I'm in the kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Cherie. No, I'm not usually in the kitchen, and no, I am not usually making videos like this, but you know what? I am not flatline. I am not just a like one-dimensional type of person. There's multiple layers that comes with me. And some of y'all know that, some of y'all don't. I'm gonna cook today. So you guys are gonna see me cook. You guys are gonna see, y'all heard the little sizzling sound. Here's what we're cooking today, because we're gonna cook, but we're also gonna have a topic of discussion. So first things first, which is most important, what are we cooking? We are making stuffed salmon with, and it's gonna be stuffed with crab meat and spinach. We made stuffed salmon with crab meat and spinach. Oh, y'all, it's gonna be so delicious. On top of rigatoni noodles with some Alfredo. TikTok made me do it. I mean, I've made this before, but just never the combination. I'm not really a fan of rigatoni pasta. I much rather prefer like angel hair. But anyways, let's taste it. Hot crab meat and cream cheese. I know some people use spinach and cream cheese. Some people just use crab meat. So I am doing it a little different because I want to be able to have my green in there. I'm adding spinach to the filling for the salmon. So we have, again, our salmon. Oh, and it's going to be on top of like a, oh, you know what? Oh, okay. It's going to be on top of like a rigatoni Alfredo style pasta. Okay, so I've made all of these before. I've just never made them all together. But I mean, if I put my hands on it, it's gonna be good either way. So that's what we're making for dinner. I invited my daddy to come over here, but he turned me down. Let's see. And other than that, this is gonna be like a very casual style video. Like I say, probably not used to what you're used to. But if you've been following me for a long time, then maybe this might be what you're used to. You know, who knows? And then the topic of today's video, we are going to talk about adult friendships, like particularly when you're a business owner. Because I am in this very weird space in my life right now where I'm not going to say I don't have friends. I do have friends, but I want more friends that are in alignment with the assignment. Meaning more friends that like content creation, more friends that want to go out and just document their day and, you know, and it's purposeful. You're not just doing it just to do it, right? There's this group of girls here in my city and I'm just like so jealous. I'm always watching them. They always go out and make a bunch of videos together. And they all somewhat have businesses. That's why I say it needs to be purposeful. So they're kind of like complimenting each other. And then they're still spending time with each other, having a good time. And I just want more friends like that. So that is my daily prayer, just to, you know, have more meaningful relationships in my life. I at this age, okay, I think that at this age, oh goodness. Okay, I think that at this age, it's so important to have people that are in your life that y'all are on the same sheet of music. I mean, yes, they say like opposites attract. We get that. Opposites do attract. But it's something about going out with your girls and everybody's talking about business, who's working on their business, who had any losses this week in their business, who had any crazy clients this week, you know, like things like that. And then again, I have my digital friends. Let's be clear, okay? I have my digital friends. So that is important to me, my digital friends, but I still would like that human connection. Like even with this video that I'm doing right now, you know, I had the idea in my mind. I was like, I want to film one of those videos where I see a lot of celebrities do, or maybe not even celebrities per se, but just kind of like socialites, people in the industry. I've been seeing them film these style of videos where they cook in a kitchen. They get a kitchen, which is obviously way bigger than this kitchen and way more extravagant than this kitchen. And they all get in there, the kitchen, and then they just like talk, and they have some sort of like mutual thing in common, or maybe they're trying to grow each other's following or whatever. I thought about it, and that's what I wanted to do for this video. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, who in the hell can I invite to my house? Because I'm not going to anybody else's house. Who can I invite to my house and that we can, you know, do something like this? But again, it has to be purposeful. Yeah, I could invite one of my close friends, you know, Brittany, shout out to her. I could invite her over here and, you know, we could do something together. But, you know, she's not really into, I guess, she's not really into content creation like I am, you know, so it would just be a little different. Now, maybe if I had another friend that was into content creation and she came over here and then Brittany came over here and then we all just hung out, you know, that would be different too. But I thought of, you know, I was like, who can I, and I thought about this one lady. There is a lady here in my hometown. Well, I think she's a lady. Honestly, I don't even know who she is because she hides behind a brand. I mean, behind like a logo and type stuff. And I do know that she helps other med spas and other aesthetic clinics in the industry. So she has like a similar business that I do, and I want to meet her. And I'm like, you know what? This could be perfect. Should I send her a DM on Instagram? Like, how crazy would that be, right? I mean, we've talked back and forth like on social media and stuff like that, but we've never actually met up. And I'm like, how crazy would it be if I message her and say, hey, you want to come over to my house and we can cook and we can talk about a common, I don't know, problem that our clients face right now, and then, I don't know, share the video. And I did think about doing that, but I was just like, I don't know her. I don't even know what she looks like, because when I go on her Instagram, there's no pictures of her at all. So, you know, back to being purposeful, meaningful, strategic. Would that be like the best type of collaboration? She obviously doesn't understand the importance of showing her face. So why would, you know, she be the type to go share the video? Or maybe she may even be, she could also be like intimidated or shy or anything like that. And, you know, I don't have time for that type of stuff. I just need somebody that sees the bigger picture. They see the end goal, and they want to work together to get there. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to try to get multiple angles for y'all. So if there ever is a time where I'm just like not talking, it's probably because I'm going to take my phone and get like some, you know, like some high shots like this, so I can insert clip into, like right now we're good. Let me go through this. Okay, so my water is getting hot. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and put some salt in here. This is pink Himalayan salt. I put this on everything. I put that on everything. Seriously, I really do. I think part of me just like doing this. You know how you gotta, I don't know what it is about doing this, y'all. It makes me feel fancy. I don't know. Versus just, you know, having it and you just like shake it out. This is not fancy. When you got twist, oh, I'm pouring salt on the floor. That I need to get. Okay, and did I tell y'all we were also having Texas toast? I usually make my Texas toast from scratch. No, I don't. I'm lying. I'll always buy Texas toast. This one, or I either get the garlic knots, or I'll either get the Texas toast with the cheese on top. But it's so easy. You just pop it in the oven. Sometimes I do like, you know, I'll go to Publix. I never make it on my own. But sometimes I will go to Publix and purchase some of theirs that they have like in a bakery, okay? And we got avocado oil, which I just pretty much use that to put there, okay? So the salmon did, ooh, almost broke it. So the salmon didn't stick. So now I'm about to mix everything up. Focus, be very moderate with my portions here. Measure with my heart because I don't think we own a measuring cup. No, actually we do. We actually own several measuring cups because when I moved back in with my mama, she had a bunch of measuring cups. All right. So that's that. I don't think that's gonna be enough, but we'll see, y'all. I told you I rather put a little bit and then gradually add more. I may end up going behind myself and doing a voiceover before, you know what, this ain't gonna work. I really need to get one of those things. I used to have one. I'm not doing that. Got these little stands where you can put kind of like on the countertop. And this is when I used to do a whole lot more cooking, but you could put the stand on the countertop and then you could just put your phone on the stand and then you'll kind of get more of like a view like this. I could kind of do that with that, but it just takes so much work. And that one was just way too big. So I'm just gonna have to not do that this time. All right, and oh, you know what? I think we gotta, this is another perk of living with my mama. She got a tool for everything, y'all. A tool for everything. I know I saw this in there one day, but I was like, you know what? And I think, let me see, I don't even know how to do it. Do you put it? Okay, I'm assuming they go like this, child. I don't know. Oh no, that's not right. Wait, is it? Or do you do it like this? And then I feel like, where's the juice gonna go? Okay, hold on. Is it like this? Oh, okay, that's actually kind of cool. I might just make a whole thing of lemonade tonight, y'all. A whole thing of lemonade. OMG, I love that. I'll do it again. I got one more piece. That is so neat. I love tools. When I see stuff like this and I use it, it makes me think bigger. That's why I said I'm gonna make lemonade. I'm gonna go buy me a lemonade stand. All right, so we have, so anybody who cares, we're doing the pink Himalayan salt because y'all know I just told you that I had put this on just about everything. Okay, and then we're gonna do some garlic herb seasoning. I might take a picture and show y'all this close up. Then we're gonna do Cajun. Ooh. You don't want to do too much Cajun. Then we got some onion powder. Okay. Ooh, always get me in my nose right there. Then we got some ranch seasoning. That's my favorite seasoning ever, ranch seasoning. All right. Something about hanging out around people that are just on the same sheet of music as you in life. And the older you get, the more you realize how much your time is just so precious, and you do not want to spend it on the wrong type of people. You just don't want to spend it in the wrong environment, and everything that you do as you get older, it just becomes way more intentional and thought out. And I would just like to see, you know, more friendship. And again, I pray it into my life. I'm always asking God, asking God to, send more friendships like that, just into my life, because I know that they're out there. I know that there are other women that are in like their, early mid 30s. I'm 35, so I could identify with 35, 40, but it just sounds better to say early 30s, mid 30s. I just like to have more women like that around me that want to do those types of things, that we have those interests in common. My son is almost 18, so I'm not really looking for babysitting problems. Why do I feel like I'm pitching myself on like a dating app right now? But anyways, I'm just saying. So the friendships that I had, wait, actually, let me start my noodles. Hold on, y'all. See, that's why I don't know how people do stuff like this and try to talk at the same time, because if you are not already following me on Instagram, stop what you're doing and go follow me. Let's be friends on Instagram because I share lots of marketing tips over there, if you will. But they are like, the delivery is different. I treat my social media platforms like my playground. I feel like I'm way more put together. I'm way more put together over here on YouTube. So go follow me on Instagram. If you are a TikToker, go follow me there as well. Now back to the program. 4 years ago, probably within the last 3 or 4 years, I feel like that's when I lost more friendships than I've done probably ever. And I just think that it was a point in my life where I was doing a lot of growing, and I had, you know, boundaries for myself. And it was just certain things from, you know, friends that I just felt like I was no longer putting up with. So I do feel like my standards have gotten a little higher as it comes to friendship. So sometimes I question, I'm like, well, I wonder, is that why it's, you know, difficult to find and maintain friendships nowadays? And I wonder if that's the reason why, because, you know, I am a little more pickier. But then I say, no, you know, that can't be the reason. It's just the people are just weird. And, you know, I feel like sometimes those friendships that you have when you're younger, they have a hard time accepting the fact that you have, you know, that you're growing and you're not that same person anymore. And then I feel like sometimes they have a problem with accepting the new version of you, because the new version of you, it just holds a mirror to their face and reminds them of, you know, pretty much what they're not doing with their life or what they are doing with their life, you know? And I definitely felt like I was going through that with that particular friendship. And I was like, you know what? It's time. I got to end this, because there was just things that kind of kept going down. And also this friend, we were friends kind of before I started my business. I was on the brink of starting it. But long story short, I kind of feel like things didn't go how I guess she saw them to go for my life, which I know that sounds very weird, right? Because it's my life. But I think that things did not go how she saw that they should have went. And I think when that happened, we kind of just drifted away from each other. I'm pretty sure she sees everything that I'm doing now. I'm pretty sure she does. I'm sure she's watching. And I don't, you know, no animosity. I don't have no ill intent or bad vibes or none of that towards anybody. You know, whatever she decides to do with her life is good. But, you know, and it's just so crazy because I'm trying not to say too much, because I know I got a lot of people who watch my channel who, you know, follow me where I live at, and I'm not like, you know, trying to be here to start drama, if you will. But it's just funny how life works out. That's all. It's funny how life works out. I think I'm gonna put this in the oven. I was gonna put it on top of the oven, like on the cast iron skillet, but I think I'm gonna actually just stick these in the oven. And I got a little bit of crab left. I think I was gonna have some left. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta put it in an omelet in the morning. Now she's going in the oven. Alright, so that was that friend. She's done. We're done. Yeah, it's a wrap. That's one friend. Like I said, that I'm definitely toning down the story, but that is one friend that I do not ever see myself being friends with again. Now on to the next friend. Here is someone that I adore as a human so much. I still follow her. I keep up with all the things that she is doing. Sometimes I even want to reach back out to her. We ended up just not being friends anymore for something that was so silly. Now, do you ever have these type of friendships where you know the breakup was just so dumb? It was so dumb. It was so silly. Not that it was like anybody's fault per se. I think both of us, our heads were both too big to just apologize to each other. Yeah, our heads were both too big, and we didn't just apologize to each other and just say, suck it up and be like, okay, well, I was wrong, or nobody was wrong. Let's just be friends and get past it. No, we had a falling out, a predicament, and then it was just like the end of that friendship. And when we first became friends, it just seemed so right. The friendship just seemed so genuine. Her and I had so much in common. We met serving together. Isn't that crazy? I was working a full-time job and I was serving and I met her. And like I said, we were very close for about 5 years. We remained friends. And then boom. But we do still support each other, like on social media. She'll see my stuff and comment, congratulations. I'll see her stuff. So one day, I don't know if she watches my YouTube videos. If you do watch my YouTube videos and I'm talking about you, like, girl, I miss you. Let's just, I don't know. I don't even know if we can, and we literally can't even pick back up where we left off because so much time has went by. I'm a different person. She's a different person. But I've been thinking about reaching back out to her because I really do miss her as a friend.
Was editing Cherie here, of course. In the video that you guys are watching, I honestly filmed this video almost like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I wanted to stop it in this specific moment to let you know, like, look how God works, okay? You speak it and you shall receive it. I wanted to stop this video in this very moment to let y'all know that the friend that I was just talking about, her and I have made up. She actually, I'm gonna tell you how it went. I liked a video or a photo of hers on Facebook, and then she immediately texted me. She was like, girl, I miss you. And I'm like, I miss you even more. And this is just how God works, how the universe works, the power of your words and all of that stuff. So we actually met for lunch. I want to say like last week sometime we met for lunch at the Nest downtown Savannah. I'll insert some little things here. Actually, when I'm done with this, I'm going to insert some little stuff, okay? And then just yesterday we went to a jazz dance class together. So, we're picking up where we left off. Of course, things are going to be different because her and I are both two.
I'm so happy that worked out for you. Like,
but
you
I
spoke
just
that
thought that it
into
was
existence.
important.
Your whole everything, like where you are now, career-wise. I remember you used to be like, "Sissy, I just want to do."
And then the very last, I guess, ship. I'm not gonna call it a friendship. It was a disaster. It was me thinking that somebody who is known for just being a nasty person, and people warned me about this person. It was me thinking that I'm not going to go off of what everybody else says about this woman. I'm just going to deal with her on my own. And this recently happened, so it's a little fresh, okay? It's a little fresh. So not too much on me, not too much on me. But anyway, so first off, Gary Vee just made a video. I don't know if any of y'all follow Gary Vee, but he just made a video on his social media account where he talked about he does not care how nasty a human being is. He does not care how much money a human being makes him. If they are a nasty person, he will fire them. He will not keep them around, blah, 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 blah. And that's kind of how I felt about this particular friendship. She was the type of person that did, I guess you could say, how you make a lot of money. And I just kept my eye on that. And I wasn't thinking about all the nasty ethics and morals and just other things about her that I would never. And then it got to a point where, like, I'm not going to go down the long rabbit hole, but it got to a point where I started questioning myself, like, why am I even hanging around this woman? Why am I even wasting my time talking to this woman? Like, if her and I were not working together, I would not be friends with her. She is not somebody that I would sit by in the cafeteria at high school. No. And again, not to put her business out there, there was a lot of things that I would hear in the beginning, but I told myself, that's not going to be my story, because I know who I am. I know how, I don't push buttons with people and yada, 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 right? So, fast forward, a situation happened, basically, that just kind of was the nail in the coffin for me. There was a lot of things that had happened that bottom line, I used to have so much fun being around this person. I was just always like filled with so much light and energy. And then that energy started to drain out. And then I would go around this person and I would start to become drained. I remember calling my ex-boyfriend and I would be like, hey, this is what we do in the neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. And I'm complaining. He's like, oh my God, every time you used to go around her, you was always like on 100, and now you're like minus 100. And I'm like, no, that is exactly how I feel. And a friendship or a partnership, nothing in your life should just make you feel drained. You shouldn't leave from around somebody feeling drained and exhausted and guilty for, like hanging around this person. And again, that's what I began to feel like. So now we don't talk. My life is great. It was wonderful before this person entered my life, and it's wonderful now. It's actually even better because I don't feel the stress and I don't feel the cake. Let me tell y'all something about toxic people. It is contagious. I don't care how much you say, oh, I'm my own woman, I'm my own woman. When you are around someone who is insecure and they're toxic, they don't like their lives, they don't like themselves, they had mama issues growing up, daddy issues, whatever the case may be, that stuff, and they're still holding on to all of that, it spreads like venom, like poison. It spreads onto your life. And I am not that type of person. I don't have mama issues. Like my mama grew up. My mama is like the best mama ever, as y'all can see. My mama, we traveling next week together. I can't wait to take y'all for that vlog. Yeah, so I didn't have those problems. So I've always been pretty much a happy-go-lucky person. So and I'm very mindful of the energy that I give off when I'm around others, because people always remember how you make them feel, right? So anyway, like I said, that's the end of that friendship. Well, I keep saying friendship. It's definitely not a friendship. It was a business partnership. It was a business transaction, and the transaction is over. It came to an end. And that's pretty much how I feel. Now, the next two people that I invite into my world, into my space, into my ecosystem, I will make sure that we are on the same sheet of music. Morally, ethically, honestly, even religiously. This last lady right here, last story about her. I remember when we first started hanging around each other, traveling with each other, and we would, go to different clients' office, whether that was on a plane or in a car, we would drive. And I just remember a couple of times where I would be sitting in the front seat or in the driver's seat, and I would say a prayer, because I keep God first and foremost in everything that I do. He is the reason why I'm here. And I would notice in the beginning, like I wanted to, the first time I said a prayer around her, she didn't even say amen. I was just like, okay. The next couple of times I would say a prayer, I noticed that her amens, they were extremely forced. They seemed forced. They didn't seem genuine. They seemed like, I'm just saying amen just because she said a prayer. Well, the second that we stopped talking and she got a chance to just be the normal person that she is, she made a comment about, well, you go thank your God, or some old crazy. So that just goes to show she didn't believe in God. She was only putting on that front because I did, and I talked about it, which is good. I'm glad that me talking about it could spread over into her life, but not if it's fake, not if it's not genuine. Morally, ethically, religiously, these are the friends that I am praying for. We are on the same sheet of music. We leave to go out of town Thursday. My client is having an event, and I'm going, and I'm excited because we're going to have espresso martinis, permanent jewelry, DIY flower bouquets. It's going to be so much fun. And I just thrive in environments where there's like people interaction, alcohol. But so that's pretty much all for my week. I don't really have anything planned because I'm traveling this week. So usually on the weeks that I travel, I try to keep it very light. Let me know if y'all want to see anything else on this channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this type of video. If you did stick around to the very end, like if you're still here now, I love you so much. Make sure you guys are following me on social media, Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to my channel if you found it useful, or if you just want to see my face again, or if you just want to stick around, okay? Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.